I don't know if it's recording or not, but we've got the Jobbies. Hey, what's up, guys? I've got a notebook here. I don't know why I'm showing you guys that, but if you hear me ruffling through pages or looking down, it's because I've got notes, because we're doing an award show. It's the end of the years. If you read the title, you know. We're doing an award show. We've got 4 categories. We've got Superstar of the Year. We've got Diva of the Year. Diva/Women's Wrestler of the Year, because NXT is included. We've got Match of the Year, and we've got Tag Team of the Year. 4 of the most important categories you could possibly think of for any wrestling award show possible. They're called the Jobbies, and I'm going to be your host, presenter, and award giver. I don't know. I'm the person that's deciding all of this, so it's all completely biased and my total opinion. If you have a different opinion, go ahead and leave it in the comments section below. I will read it. And I'll probably agree with you for whatever reason, because a lot of my nominees are actually pretty good. So we've got a few different ones. Match of the Year, though, is the shortest of the 3, so we're gonna start there, right? I've only got 3 nominees for this one, and I think they're pretty damn good, although 2015 has been a very solid year for wrestling within the WWE and outside of the WWE as well. But we're only considering the WWE matches. Sorry, I totally got lost there. Completely off the rails. So just WWE matches, just WWE Superstars and Divas will be included in these awards. Just because I'm not quite sure how many of you guys watch other things like Ring of Honor, PWG, New Japan, AAA, whatever it may be. So we're gonna stick to WWE because you guys seem to like that, and I'm pretty familiar with it myself. So let's start the award show! Is that weird? That's weird, huh? Alright, so match number 1 up for nomination. Let's go over the nominations first, and then I'll discuss why I chose them and why I picked the winner. Okay. So we've got Owens versus Cena. That is Kevin Owens versus John Cena. The first match that they had, I believe no titles were on the line in this one. It was at Elimination Chamber 2015. This was early on. Not that early on, but kind of early on. It was after WrestleMania, obviously. Kevin Owens' first match as a WWE main event superstar against the man, John Cena. They put down one hell of a match. I said I was going to go over the nominees and then why, but we're doing it backwards apparently. Anyways, okay, let's Sasha Banks versus Bayley for the NXT Women's Championship, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. That's the one we're talking about. They had 2. The Iron Man match was good as well, but this one was a lot better, told a better story, all that great stuff. And then the triple threat match between Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, and John Cena at Royal Rumble. John Cena's in 2 of these matches. I think Kevin Owens could have obviously been in a lot of these matches. There's a long list of matches that happened in 2015 that were phenomenal, but as far as I'm concerned, these 3 were the best. They were at the top. They could all be match of the year for myself. But only one can win. But which one will it be? Let's go over the 2 that didn't win. Kevin Owens versus John Cena did not win, though. I start there because I'm completely biased towards Kevin Owens because I've been a fan of his for a while. And so he's probably not going to get any awards tonight, but he's definitely nominated because he's amazing, right? It was insane. Kevin Owens came out and he showed why he deserves to be on the main roster, why he's been talked about forever. Crazy moves that he did, moonsaults and sentons, and he even teased the package pile driver at one point. I believe he did an FU, an AA. Cena, this is where kind of Cena started to improve his wrestling. He was doing the U.S. Open challenges, putting on great matches, and it kind of started here with Kevin Owens, and it definitely showed that John Cena is a good wrestler. I don't know if you guys can hear the rain outside, but it's being loud and annoying. All right? I apologize if you can hear the rain outside. It's quite loud. I'm pretty sure it's like frozen rain, so... Anyways, Owens made a big impact, right? He made a name for himself immediately in the WWE, and I'm not just talking about the fact that he won the match, because he did win the match, which is amazing in its own right, but he also just made a big impact. He proved why he should be on the main roster, he proved why he was, at the time, current NXT champion, and he proved why later on he would win the Intercontinental Championship, later on to lose it to Dean Ambrose, but it's nonetheless. Kevin Owens, just a great match. If you haven't watched it, go back, watch it. If you don't have the WWE Network, I don't know, get the WWE Network or something. I don't know. Look it up on the internet. It's got to be somewhere. It's not just nowhere, right? Bayley versus Sasha Banks. Absolutely amazing match. Not even from just like a woman's wrestling standpoint, from like a wrestling standpoint overall, right? Not to be sexist, but women's wrestling hasn't always been the greatest. But from just an overall standpoint, an amazing match. They told an amazing story where Bayley was the underdog, the girl that couldn't get it done. She was too lovable, and she had her hurt wrist. One of these hands. She had broken one of her hands or something, and Sasha went after that, and she had her in the submission, the bank statement, and then she was hammering her hand with her leg or her foot, and I really loved that moment. Bayley hit the reverse Frankenstein or the reverse Rana off the top, and then I believe a belly to belly to win the match. Won the NXT Women's Championship. Amazing match. The 4 horsewomen came out. Great match, unfortunately. For my own personal opinion, not the winner. The winner for me was Seth Rollins, John Cena, Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble 2015. How did you not love that match? I remember sitting there watching the match. I was with my friends. Told them, shut the fuck up, right? Sorry. No cursing. I'm going to try and stop cursing. But anyways, I told them, shut up. I was thinking in my own head, I am watching history. This is a match that is going to be talked about for years to come. Although some people have forgotten this match and they would give this one to Sasha and Bayley. I think that this match was the match of the year, an absolute instant classic, quality, great match. It had great moments between, with Brock Lesnar and Cena, with Lesnar and Rollins, where he caught Rollins out of midair and then F5'd him, where Rollins was flipping out of the AA, where he hit the elbow through the table off the top rope on the outside, where he hit the Phoenix Splash and the curb stomp, and then Brock Lesnar inevitably ended up winning because he's a monster and a destructible person. He went on to main event WrestleMania, and that's great. Great for him, but overall, just a great match. All 3 guys put on one hell of a performance. Seth Rollins proved why he would later become WWE Champion. John Cena proved further that he is the greatest superstar currently in the WWE, if not ever. And Brock Lesnar just proved why he is the beast incarnate and possibly superstar of the year. You'll find out later, but the Jobby goes to the triple threat match at the Royal Rumble, because that's my opinion. If you disagree, if you want to pick one of the 3 matches that I had, let me know. If you have a different match, let me know, because there were a lot of good matches. Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, in Tokyo and at Brooklyn, both were good. Sasha Bayley at both takeovers were really good. There are a few matches on Raw that were really good. Neville versus Seth Rollins for the title stands out for me as a match that really got me going. The TLC match just last month, or this month actually, was really good. A lot of good matches this year, and let me know what you guys thought was the match of the year. But now we're going to move on to the next category. Diva / Women's Wrestler of the Year. This is actually probably the biggest category. Maybe Superstar of the Year too. Really, anybody could have won Superstar of the Year, but whatever. The nominees are Charlotte, Nikki Bella, Paige, Sasha Banks, and of course, everybody's favorite, Bayley. So if the rain would stop, that would be really pleasant. Really, really pleasant. Just fucking wonderful. Anyways, reasons for that. Charlotte started off the year. I'm pretty sure she started off the year as NXT champion, only to lose it. Made a main roster debut, won the Divas Championship, and made quite arguably the biggest impact as far as the 3 NXT women go on the main roster. You had Becky, Sasha, and Charlotte. You could argue Charlotte made the biggest impact on the main roster as she is Divas Champion. Pretty great year. Nikki Bella, NXT Women's Champion, Divas Champion, longest reigning Divas Champion throughout the course of 2015. Had some pretty decent matches, but she held on to the title for longer than anybody else has, so she has to be in the talks. From a kayfabe point of view, she had the best year out of all of the Divas, but we're not just going based off kayfabe. Paige had a pretty good year, whatever. Just whatever. I don't think she was champion at any point during 2015. Maybe early on she might have started off the year as champion. I don't think she did, though. I'm pretty sure No, she couldn't have, because AJ was the champion, and then Nikki won the belt off AJ. And then Paige never won it. But she had quite a few main event matches, some pretty good matches, so she's in the talks. Sasha Banks, of course, NXT champion, won it off of Charlotte in the Fatal 4-Way, right? I believe so. I believe she did win it off the Fatal 4-Way. They had the rematch. She's had amazing matches with Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Bayley. Great wrestler, great persona, character, all that fun stuff. Last but not least, Bayley, the lovable, caring, hug life, the girl you gotta love. Won the NXT Championship late in the year, kind of late, August. Retained it at the last takeover, and then retained it again. That's right, she retained it twice because she faced Sasha in the rematch, and then just faced what's that girl's name? I'm drawing a blank. I don't know her name. The Rock's cousin. We'll just call it that. The Rock's cousin. She retained it against The Rock's cousin. My pick, though, I don't want to give it to Nikki Bella, but you got to give it to Nikki Bella, right? The Jobbie has to go to Nikki Bella. From a kayfabe point of view, I know I said I'm not basing it just on that alone. I would love to give it to Bayley. From a personal standpoint, she's had a great year, a lot of good matches. But you got to give it to Nikki Bella, longest reigning Divas champion. You're not going to give it to that? Really? Diva of the year, right there. How you gonna pick somebody else? Really? Charlotte? You gonna pick Charlotte? Nah, well, that's your personal opinion. The Jobbies are my award, so I'm gonna give it to who I want. Wow, did I sound like a dick? That's right. Let me know who you guys think. If you think it's Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha, Paige, Becky Lynch, somebody else that didn't even make the nominations. Let me know. Let me know why also. Don't just be like, I think Becky Lynch should have won. Tell me why. Give me a reason. Maybe I'll back you up. Maybe I'll redo the entire video and give a Jobbie to Becky Lynch. Superstar of the year, Becky Lynch. She didn't even win Diva of the year. All right, next up, Tag Team of the Year. Who could it possibly be? There's only a few to really choose from. The nominees are Lucha Dragons. They've had a pretty good year, right? They made a name for themselves in the TLC. They came up from NXT. I believe they came up last year, though. No, didn't they come up? They came up this year, right after WrestleMania. So, yeah. WrestleMania kind of throws me off because it's not too early in the year, but it's like early enough to where I'm like, all right, new year. Right? Like the new year and the new wrestling year are two completely different things for me. WrestleMania is like, new year. There's a new year now. Anyways, the Usos are back in action now, and they're killing it. They're doing pretty good. They won the Slammy for Tag Team of the Year. They're doing alright. They haven't really won anything or done anything important yet this year, but they're on the list because they're the freaking Usos. Why would you put them on there? The Dudleys have made a return. Big return, highly entertaining. Putting people through tables, losing a lot. But they're in the discussion because, well, they're the Dudley Boys. Like I said, this category is not very expansive. I don't know. Not a lot to talk about here other than the Lucha Dragons and the next nominee and the winner for the Jobbie. The winner of Tag Team of the Year. The Jobbie goes to The New Day. Who the hell else are you going to give it to, right? The New Day won the tag team titles. Did they lose them at some point? I don't know if they lost them at some point. I'm really bad at wrestling history, but, just highly entertaining, right? They're at the top of the food chain as far as the tag team goes. Not even just the tag team, but the WWE. They're right there, right at the top. All three members of the New Day. Technically, they could just not be a tag team of the year, but they are the tag team champions, so what are you going to do, right? So who else, you're not really going to give it to anybody else. There's a few other teams, Euro Trash, Primetime Players, what else? The Lucha Dragons were definitely second because they've made a big impact on the main roster since their debut, and they're definitely the tag team that's given the New Day a run for their money, but the New Day is just so far ahead of everybody else in that category that I just had to give it to them, right? They're the tag team champions. What are you going to do? Last, but certainly not least, Superstar of the Year. There's a few nominations here that are definitely worth talking about. First up, we're going to talk about Kevin Owens. This man had a great year. Started off the year as NXT champion before losing it to Finn Balor, but not before beating John Cena on the main roster. He became the Intercontinental Champion. He was in numerous number one contenders championship matches / tournaments, facing guys like Roman Reigns, Cesaro, Seth Rollins, all these guys, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, all these type of guys. He's made a huge impact, possibly the biggest impact any NXT superstar has made on the main roster in the recent past, since the Shield, obviously. But since NXT has made a huge rise in the WWE, Kevin Owens is the first guy to come out of there that's made an amazingly large impact. Neville, kind of, but Kevin Owens definitely has made a big impact, and that's why he is a nomination for Superstar of the Year. Next up, Roman Reigns, right? Some people may disagree with me on this one, but in this year, he has main evented WrestleMania. He won the Royal Rumble, then main evented WrestleMania. Had a really good match with Brock Lesnar in that match. He had a really good match in that match. Anyways, he, as well as Kevin Owens, multiple number one contendership matches, also being number one contender multiple times. That's amazing. He won the title at the end of the year, of course, but not before winning it and then losing it. Two-time champion in 2015 alone. Not really that impressive because he had to lose the title in order to win it back, but whatever. He did win the title, and now he's holding on to it currently in 2015, and he's going to end 2015 more than likely with the title unless he loses it on the last episode of Raw. Now, I am recording this before that episode of Raw, so if he loses it tonight on Monday Night Raw, please do not shoot me or comment nasty stuff because I don't know. It hasn't happened yet. Next up, John Cena. Great year. United States champion. If I'm not mistaken, multiple-time United States champion. Quality matches with guys that normally you don't get to see. Stardust, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Neville. I believe he faced Ziggler at some point. Dean Ambrose, I'm sure he faced at some point. Before losing the title to Seth Rollins and then winning it back from Seth Rollins, having those great matches with Kevin Owens. It wasn't his best year ever, but he's got to be in the talks because he's John frickin' Cena. Who else are you going to talk about, right? Brock Lesnar comes up. Undertaker. Dean Ambrose. Is some of those guys, but, Brock Lesnar wasn't there all year. You can't really put him in there. Undertaker, same thing. Dean Ambrose had a really good year, but I don't think it's quite worthy of a Superstar of the Year nomination or victory, so I didn't put him in here. Last but not least, the man that is winning the Jobby for Superstar of the Year. I think he's had the greatest year out of all of these guys, although some of them have come pretty close now that I talk about it out loud. Seth freaking Rollins, right? He did lose to Randy Orton at the Rumble, but he had that great match against Brock Lesnar and John Cena at the Rumble. I say he lost to Randy Orton at the Rumble. He lost to Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Had the match at the Rumble. Once again, backwards order, but whatever. He cashed in Money in the Bank at the WrestleMania, won the title. He was on the Today Show. That's not really anything, but he did win the title. He was champion all summer long, basically. I'm pretty sure he would still be holding on to the title if he didn't get injured. Never lost the title. That's a point to make, right? Never lost the title. He held on to it. First ever person to be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion and the United States Champion at the same time. He beat guys like Cena, Rollins. He faced guys like Cena, Lesnar, Sting. He main evented with Sting. He beat Sting. All right, he beat Sting. He main evented multiple matches, right? Like, he had the match with Cena and Lesnar, Sting. He was great as champion, great on the mic. Other than the fact that he was backed up by the Authority, he had a great year. United States champion, WWE champion, cashed in Money in the Bank. He did so much this year, and that's why I got to give it up for Seth freaking Rollins, the man, the only man that is worthy of this award. So hats off to Seth Rollins, Superstar of the Year as far as I'm concerned. Guys, if you have any disagreements towards my nominations, let me know in the comment section below who you think your Superstar of the Year is, your Match of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, and Diva / Women's Wrestler of the Year is. But for now, I am your boy, Intel. Bye.